the main instrument is the Outer Space Treaty. The Outer Space Treaty is a treaty on principles. This means that it simply lays foundations. Very broad, very wide, very general foundations. What it does need is concretization. So every time there is a certain activity, let's say space mining, it would need concretization. For sustainability, the main articles are Article 3 and Article 9. And 3 basically tells us all of international law is applicable to outer space. This would then mean that environmental principles that could be applicable also apply. And then the main article always cited for, let's say, environmental protection and sustainability is Article 9. This article was first off written with the idea of just showing due care and due regard to the interest of other states. Keep some type of information flowing when it came to this type of experiments that could harm others. A very interesting sentence was added into it, that the exploration and use of outer space, including the moon and other celestial bodies, should be done in a way as to not cause harmful interference, that you don't pollute outer space. So this is seen as the main environmental principle in the Outer Space Treaty. The main problem is that it doesn't set anything further. So now it's down to states as still the primary creators of international law to define what this means. So we have 4 further treaties that address separate issues. So for example, rescue of astronauts, liability and registration of satellites. And the last is the Moon Agreement, which did quite a bit more. So it tried adding for celestial bodies the principle of intergenerational equity. It tried adding quite a few more environmental principles as well. It goes as far as it wants to make use of the moon, exploration of the moon, sustainable. The issue with that one is that in Article 11, it addresses mining for resources, and it was not very well received by states, and therefore they did not want to ratify the treaty. So the majority that we have on space sustainability are actually non-legal instruments. The last point that we have, the less effective is this one. It's just a range of reports by the Committee on the Peaceful Uses, or guidelines or recommendations. Then the rest, you have just activities of space agencies that try and actually implement as much of this as they can. They are aware how important space sustainability is. So this is the majority that's being done at the moment. It's actually not legally binding. It can be seen as following the spirit of Article 9 of the Outer Space Treaty, but it's not strictly speaking legally binding. So ideally, and this is, in my opinion, unlikely to happen, you need an international treaty that addresses this in general.